The Chris Tucker that we got now is Epstein Island Chris Tucker, not Smokey.
Oh, Lord.
When Friday arrived in theaters, it instantly became a cult classic in 1995, in large part because of the amazing the cast's performances, especially the performance of Chris Tucker as Smokey the Fast sidekick is entertaining. But when the follow-up was made available on Friday, fans were left asking why in 2000. Despite the fact that Tucker was not particularly absent popularity of the movie, Tucker decided not to return to his legendary role, igniting an endless join us in speculating on his choice. To ascertain the true causes of the exit of Chris Tucker from the Friday franchise prior to being aware of the Chris Tucker's reasons for leaving on Friday, let's review his fascinating career trajectory. In Tucker's humor in 1990, the comedic act's career took a nosedive. Theater in Atlanta, Georgia was renowned for fostering up-and-coming comic skill and acted as a springboard for a number of prosperous comedians. For Tucker, the theater's comedic performance was more than only a stage. It served as the location where he recognized his actual purpose. He clearly recalled the time he had a powerful mutual relationship with his audience, said, "I'll take care of the rest of my life since I experienced that chuckle returning to me with this experience validated his love for humor and solidified his choice to pursue it as a lifetime career due to his tremendous level of energy, style of performance, and a penchant for Tucker was resolute despite the uncertainty to establish himself in the world of comic stand-up, realizing that he had to compete more fiercely. Setting to hone his skills and acquire, he took the bold step to gain more publicity. To Los Angeles, a city with a reputation for thriving entertainment sector and the competitive comedy scene emerged as the setting for his Los Angeles aspirations. Angelus Tucker committed himself to his craft with unwavering dedication. He spent developing his act throughout the following 2 years, entertaining crowds every night throughout a range of locations. At this time was characterized by consistent practice and performance that enabled him to grow his distinct style and voice for comedy. The way Tucker performed was described as by a quick wit, dynamic energy, and in the capacity to engage audiences via his vivacious and occasionally erratic. Tucker's dedication to his delivery, his career in humor paid off as he started to become well known in the entertainment industry. His unwavering quest for quality, as well as his unique comic, his sense of flair made him stand out into the crowded comedy scene in Los Angeles. Foundation established throughout these formative years might ultimately result in substantial prospects and a prosperous career in stand-up. The decision to forego comedy and films. Tucker's military service and college himself observed was a purposeful and measured danger. He articulated his unwillingness to accept these conventional paths, jokingly remarking that he not enlisting in the military since they rise too early. This emotion emphasized his want to separate his own route and choose a profession that in line with his interests and passions. Chris Tucker saw a sign in 1992. Important development in his growing career in comedy, with a prominent performance on HBO's well-liked Def Comedy Jam stand-up series, renowned for its vivacious and daring showcase of stand-up comedy, was an essential medium for several up-and-coming comedians. Over the early Tucker's presence in the 1990s was beyond merely another performance. It was the turning point that sent him into the spotlight and signaled the start of on his change from a rising stand-up comedian to a well-known person in Tucker's Hollywood set onto Comedy Jam was captivating, distinguished by his dynamic, high-energy delivery, that his distinct humorous approach, and his capacity for empathy with the crowd and take control of the stage left a deep effect on the audience, and this performance was well received by industry insiders, attracted the interest of several manufacturers, resulting in a cascade of chances for entertainment. Tucker's ability to capitalize on this chance showed that he was prepared to leverage the break and take advantage of it. For increased achievement, by 1994 Tucker's, a rising talent in the comedy industry, started to shine even more brilliantly after making his feature debut. This movie is a part of House Party 3's renowned home party series that included Tucker in a performance that demonstrated his humorous talent. In addition to well-known Angela and Bernie Mac actors, the relationship between Mac and Means was fortunately, both would eventually join him in the 1995 motion picture Friday, additional creating a cooperative network. This would be important in Tucker's career. Despite his encouraging beginning in his performance in Friday, was the part that would turn into a pivotal point in Tucker's career. Was released on Friday, 1995, was a comedic movie that Ice Cube wrote and DJ Pooh, with F. Gary Gray serving as director. It takes place in South Central Los Angeles. Angeles examines two people's life. Craig's buddies Ice Cube, played for him, and Chris Tucker's portrayal of Smokey, as they imagine a one day that is full with funny and difficult circumstances. Tucker's depiction of Smokey was a remarkable performance that brought to life a figure who was both humorous and in the role of Smokey was charming, transforming for Tucker, providing him with not merely broad acknowledgement but also solidifying his position in the comedy and his comic timing in the film industry. Charm and a unique voice like Smokey struck a chord with viewers and reviewers, similarly granting him acclaim and greatly advancing his career. The Tucker's performance and the popularity of the movie movie helped establish it as a classic. A mainstay in African-American film comedy in the 1990s, in 1992, after Chris Tucker's riveting appearance on Duh, he attracted the attention of Comedy Jam. Ice Cube and DJ Pooh, his writing partner Tucker's dynamic impressed them. Stage presence and recognized the possibility of want him to contribute something unique to their in the forthcoming movie project Friday. The pair who were eager to get a comic who was capable of contribute a special vitality to the position of Smokey recognized Tucker and stretched out to him. Think his humorous approach might be a perfect fit for their movie despite Tucker's impressive showing on in the process of obtaining the position of Smokey wasn't simple during the casting procedure. Among other well-known comedians were also taken into Chris Rock was one among them for the position. DJ Pooh himself and Tommy Davidson, these comedians each have their own unique design to the table, which makes the choices difficult for the Tucker's first tryout for the film Friday was not as easy as his prior theatrical performances may have recommended casting director Kim Hart. Since the movie narrated that Tucker's The Audition wasn't very well in and Hart characterized the audition in the interview as awful, citing a number of reasons it had a part in the dismal Tucker had just returned from a concert. After a demanding stand-up tour that probably left him feeling worn out and less additionally, he had not yet prepared comprehend the subtleties of operating in a movie scene, including how to modify then use the D to improvise as long as Hart acknowledged that Tucker was still unaware that comedians often possess the liberty to bring their personal flair for improvisation in scripted material. This ignorance may have made it more difficult for him to establish a connection with Smokey's character in the audition. In spite of these preliminary obstacles, Hart trusted Tucker's potential, which he thought he could perform far better if provided with the appropriate direction and planning. In the end, Tucker's innate ability and prior Def Comedy Jams act was unable to be disregarded. The casting crew saw potential in him and chose to provide him with second opportunity. This choice turned out to is crucial as Tucker eventually accepted the Smokey character with newfound vigor and comprehension of his performance went on to become a key moment on Friday, a claim-making moment in his career as well as making him a notable character in comedies and movies. But many of the casting directors may have moved on. Following a mediocre tryout, the people who made the film saw something unique quality in Tucker that transcended his first performance. Faison Love, who a large worm in the movie, offers insightful information on Tucker's travels to obtaining the position of Smokey in accordance with To Love. Tucker was experiencing especially disappointed during his audition, having just missed out on a few of roles to other comedians. This irritation, in addition to his post-tour fatigue, was a contributing factor to an audition that didn't meet expectations. In spite of this affection, and the movie's decision-makers identified a critical feature that distinguished Tucker's remarkable capacity to improvise. The first audition was characterized as simply acceptable, illustrating Tucker's difficulty in thoroughly interact with the personality of Smokey at the audition. But what really caught my attention was Tucker's ability to improvise, ability that would turn into a deaf-in characteristic of his Friday Love performance highlighted the fact that during Tucker's audition, perhaps his performance wasn't that remarkable. The ability to improvise was unmatched, which was an important consideration in the process of making decisions, as the movie makers appreciated Tucker's capacity to provide impromptu humor and originality. To the part that Friday's production played a quick-paced event, with the movie being filmed on a strict schedule in under 20 days, did not permit lengthy retakes or revision visions, which makes it crucial for the performers to provide powerful, swift performances. In this situation, Tucker's ability to improvise turned into a noteworthy asset. Love mentioned that if the film has the advantage of several takes, Tucker's improvisational skills would have been featured much more widely. Despite the short filming period, Tucker's improv gave it more nuance and genuineness to Smokey's character, making him an exceptional artist. The movie debuted on Friday, April 1995, signifying a turning point in the career of Tucker and introducing viewers to his dynamic depiction of Smokey and quick-witted streetwise someone who gained popularity fast. Tucker's portrayal as Smokey was my favorite, was a lively combination of his own elevated vigor and a genuine edge of charm that struck a strong chord with people, capacity to provide spontaneous on-liners and contribute an erratic energy to the helped elevate the movie and solidify his standing as a Hollywood rising star. It was Tucker's portrayal of Smokey that was notable, not just for its amusement but also because of its rapid relatability and sincerity. Smokey's humor and captivating performance made an unforgettable figure who made a contribution crucial to the movie's success. This role was a turning point for Tucker, displaying his distinct comedy ability and establishing him as a prominent figure within the entertainment sector. The Friday's achievement resulted in the inevitable development of a follow-up by the year 2000. Movie theaters on Friday, bringing back many of the stars of the original movie, includes the diminutive Ice Cube John Witherspoon with Leezer and DJ Pooh. The movie sought to expand on its predecessor's success by carrying on the narrative and extending the cosmos shown in the first movie. But one notable omission was Chris Tucker's Smokey was seen by fans, as there is no evidence of the omission of Next Friday's Smokey was a subject of significant dissatisfaction among supporters who had grown to adore Tucker's personality and his common chemistry with Ice Craig. The lack of Smokey cubes was especially noteworthy considering the popularity and crucial importance of the figure in interviews in the first movie and conversations on the sequel's admirers and both critics expressed their worries and inquiries regarding Tucker's failure to return to the role in Ice Cube, 2017, discussed the matter at an appearance on the podcast Drink Champs. Considering Tucker's choice not to return for the follow-up, Cube shared he was disappointed and frustrated. Compared how Smokey's absence affected to the loss of a star for a prominent sports club players like Kobe and Shaquille O'Neal. Bryant, ending their relationship for Cube. Tucker's departure seemed like a big loss to the movie and its sequel, a lot like a key component of a productive team being eliminated. After Friday's triumph, the career of Chris Tucker took off, making him a well-known A-list star. Hollywood actor, the year 1997 was a pivotal moment in his life career with Rush Hour's release and action comedy movie where Tucker starred with a martial arts legend, Jackie Chan. This movie was a huge hit, debuting at leading position at the box office and earning more than $33 million in its initial rush hour. At the conclusion of the weekend, had amassed a remarkable amount of $244 million globally. The movie's achievement not only confirmed Tucker's reputation as a top actor, but also shown his exceptional synergy with Jackie Chan's ability to combine humor and action in a manner that the audience found compelling. Tucker's growing popularity was even more identified when he signed 2 photos deal with New Line Cinema for $45 million, making him the most compensated performer in Hollywood for that year's contract, highlighted his market worth and the industry's trust in his capacity to sketch viewers. The monetary success of Rush Hour and the profitable transaction solidified Tucker's standing as a leading actor, and his later endeavors kept up with reflect his prominent position in the sector. Outside of Rush Hour, Tucker's filmography grew with prominent parts in the film Money Talks. He starred with The Fifth and Charlie Sheen. The science fiction blockbuster Element was directed by Luke Besson in the Jackie Brown movie, which was directed by Quentin Tarantino. Tucker displayed his adaptability and variety as an actor. These parts, in conjunction with his prior accomplishments, made Tucker as a popular and lucrative Hollywood celebrity, even if Tucker's career is just getting started. Absent from the Friday sequels that followed was a noteworthy topic of conversation among industry executives and fans. Together, important element in his choice not to come back for more Friday flicks seems to be an unrecorded financial clip that appeared online, revealing Tucker in jest bringing up an Ice Cube in the movies. The co-creator was angry with him since he didn't going back to the franchise. Tucker made reference to the payment issue for the first movie as a contributing factor. This revelation implies the reason for his absence. If financial factors were a major part in his process of choosing decisions about upcoming Friday episodes. In John Witherspoon, in an interview from 2018, who was renowned for portraying Mr. Jones, provided information on Friday about the exit of Chris Tucker from the Witherspoons. Remarks about the beloved series offered an insight into the behind-the-scenes elements impacting Tucker's choice not to come back. For further, according to Witherspoon, Friday films among the main causes of Tucker's The Friday sequel's absence was Tucker, the financial expert, had made the strategic choice to collaborate on Rush Hour with Jackie Chan, who ended up being he made a profitable move in this interview. According to Witherspoon, Tucker was allegedly made a $20 million bid for his role at Rush Hour as a symbol of a substantial amount that surely had an impact on his career. Options I wouldn't return to on Friday, either, Witherspoon said, emphasizing the significant financial reward that was made available to Tucker via this new chance to receive a huge salary from Rush Hour probably eclipsed any Tucker's potential financial benefit obtained by taking part in additional Friday payments, as well as Rizwan Manji, a Friday cast member, disclosed that the performers from the original film were paid quite little. Totals. The payment for the first Friday's film was particularly weak, with plenty of cast members are given solely $5,000, was a significant sum that was far from indicative of the movie's final success and its effects on culture. The difference between the little payment and for the first movie and the Tucker was promised a hefty salary. For Rush Hour provides more details on why Tucker may have given the latter priority. Project over, Chris, going back to Friday. Tucker's choice not to come back for other Friday films were impacted by a number of important elements, one of which was his ambition to go after more and more ambitious endeavors throughout this career. Trajectory represents a shared goal between actors to constantly change and broaden their horizons in their careers. Tucker has experienced notable success. Friday was viewed as a first step towards larger film and more prominent parts initiatives. In a time-sensitive interview display, Tucker candidly in the morning spoke about his justification for avoiding additional Friday sequels during that time. Throughout his career, Tucker wasn't only searching to continue being well-liked, but also to raise his profile in the movie business. He stated that taking part in it would feel like a Friday again. regression as opposed to a development, as they were doing by the following Friday, I was already making money. Talks Tucker clarified, emphasizing that his attention was now focused on more significant movie opportunities. Tucker made the choice to found it on his desire to escape the shape created by his position as on Friday, Smokey. The movie had been a substantial achievement, but Tucker was eager on how to prevent being limited or typecast to a certain persona or genre archetype. His later positions in important films such as Rush Hour and Money Talks the Presidents and The Fifth Element were actions. To create a varied and remarkable career, each of these flicks symbolized a distinct facet of his acting ranges from rushing to action comedy. Hour to the Fifth Science Fiction, a feature that enables Tucker to display his adaptability and draw in a wider Tucker's audiences will to continue reaching the next level, demonstrates his dedication to both personal and professional development. He wished to make sure that his career kept developing and that he was seen as more than just a humorous actor from a single prosperous cinema. By collaborating on well-known projects and working with well-known celebrities such as Jackie Chan and filmmakers renowned for their popular songs, Tucker sought to confirm his status as a top actor. In addition to Chris Tucker's in Hollywood withdrawal from the Friday franchise, as well originated from a noteworthy personal change that showed his changing priorities and beliefs as Tucker's career developed. His personal life, especially his growing dedication to this shift in Christianity, has a crucial part in influencing his choices about his work-related endeavors, includes his decision to not go back for more Friday films. In interviews, Tucker has told candidly how his newfound faith informed his strategy for comedy and his public persona in general. By the period of his leave, beginning on Friday, Tucker has experienced a phase of contemplation and spiritual development that resulted in him to reconsider his career decisions. He was compelled to return to church and tried to better align his career in keeping with his Christian convictions. This spiritual path entailed a deliberate attempt to tidy up his behavior on and off the stage. During an interview in 2014 with Tucker, a straight person from Vancouver, spoke about how his conversion to Christianity had changed. He explained how he approached comedy. His religious beliefs led him to distance himself from crude and obscene humor that was common throughout his early stand-up acts. I've never been a cheesy comedian, but I didn't give my words much thought. Due of his youth, Tucker mirrored his. He described how his beliefs brought him to a deeper taking into account his humorous. Being a Christian materially aids me in funny, but I have other things to discuss. Typically, comics discuss a variety of topics. That's simple, perhaps stating or swearing something raunchy that I need to look into more, discover something amusing, and it's harder today, but I enjoy the Chris Tucker challenge. In the 2000s, had a significant break from Hollywood around the time of his retreat from the motion picture business and a change in pay attention to his private life. Numerous causes contributed to the hiatus, encompassing his discontent with the positions that were being offered to him and a developing must re-evaluate his career, and Tucker's choice about financial management to refrain from taking action in the early 2000s were partly fueled by his dissatisfaction with the responsibilities that come his way. He believed that a large number of the given components were monotonous and failed to provide the imaginative challenges or chances for development that he wanted. This discontent, in addition to with his changing personal and due to his professional interests, he took a break from the industry and investigate further facets of his life. As Tucker, an important break from Hollywood financial and emotional concerns, came to the leading edge in 2014, saw the public disclosure that Tucker's income debt reached $14 million. Taxes, a significant debt was accrued throughout many years of revenue going all the way back to this tax obligation became a significant one in 2001. Public worry and brought attention to certain aspects. The challenges Tucker encountered throughout his Tucker's tax source is hiatus. Poor people were blamed for the problems. Business management and accounting representatives clarified that the problem resulted from poor management and accounting mistakes as opposed to intentional. Despite these justifications, tax evasion, the public nature and the substantial amount owing of the tax matter brought attention to Tucker's professional and financial difficulties. During this time, in Tucker's solution to these challenges started working to resolve his financial commitments and restore his profession. One of his methods for addressing the debt meant going back to the entertainment sector, both through films and stand-up humor. By returning to standing in front of the camera and doing live, Tucker tried to make the money, had to pay up his tax obligation, and Tucker's comeback to resurrect his career. A significant component of this was stand-up comedy. Approach renowned for his vivacious and captivating performances, Tucker used his comic abilities to get back in touch with audiences and create a fresh revenue stream, and his comeback to comedy enabled him to display his abilities and highlight his re-established presence in the field of entertainment. Additionally, Tucker appeared in movies and assumed parts that were more diverse and in line with his present interests, such as pursuing initiatives that deviated from the kind of roles with which he has previously been involved, expressing his wish to start over oneself as an expert. In a Chris's interview on Sway in the Morning, Tucker discussed the potential for examining the Friday franchise again, expressing his opinions about how any possible comeback to the series must represent his individual and Tucker's professional development, that if he went back to a movie like Friday, it would have to change with it. His personal development since his position, as he admitted admitted that his Smokey viewpoint and method of approaching comedy have altered a lot from his early Tucker's remarks during the industry's days, emphasized his knowledge that a new Friday's version would need additional more than only a sentimental review of his. He underlined in his persona that any fresh the idea would have to be in line with his current experiences and values, representing the manner in which he's developed both personally and as of this emotion highlighted the performer's dedication to development and his wish to guarantee the continued relevance of his work, and significant even after he left Tucker from the Friday franchise remained involved in the entertainment sector. He kept a strong presence in comedy stand-up, putting on performances all across the nation and re-establishing contact with his audience by his live appearances. This comeback to stand-up gave him the opportunity to display his humorous abilities in fresh and developing forms, demonstrating his continued involvement with his skills. Tucker also revealed his comeback to the franchise of Rush Hour, stating that he will return to his part in Rush Hour with Jackie Chan. For this choice to go back to a loved one showed that Tucker was amenable to looking back at his previous work, gave that the creative direction and terminology in line with his present professional objectives on personal development. What are your thoughts regarding Chris Tucker's departure on Friday? Please share your thoughts in the space below. We hope you have discovered this below useful video. Remember to leave a please subscribe to the channel and like and share it. Thank you for viewing. If you enjoy it, I'll see you in the upcoming videos. Goodbye.